time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace and former Ottawa Senator Jason York.
Good morning, everybody. 3 months until Christmas, in case you're wondering. Happy Tuesday. Brent Wallace alongside Jason York and Graham Nichols. Everybody's across the country. Graham, by the way, in Buffalo to watch the Sabres take on the Ottawa Senators tonight. He's our traveling reporter.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. Yeah, how are you guys doing?
How was your drive in?
The most stressless drive I've ever experienced coming to the United States.
Easy.
It was unbelievable. Crossing the Thousand Islands, there was one person ahead of me at customs, and I just cleared instantly, and I got here in 5 hours probably. It wasn't bad. Like I couldn't imagine doing that drive when it's actually like, you get those like northeastern New York State snowstorms, but like springtime, it was easy, super easy.
How good is that highway? Is that the 87?
The 90 is what I took in, I think. 90.
When you cross the Thousand Islands at Hill Island, right? Yeah, it's like you get on that highway and it's like, man, I feel like I have this highway to myself. It's just so relaxing compared to the 401, which is just complete stress.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like you're driving over train tracks. Like it's all managed.
The highway in the U.S., all north-south is an odd number. True. All even runs east-west.
I avoid the 4. If I'm going to Toronto, I avoid the 401 at all costs. I'm a Highway 7 guy. Just
no
401.
I'm the opposite.
You're all business. So you get right to the highway.
Get in on the highway. Business. Get there. Yeah, I don't like the Highway 7. There's too many idiots who want to pass with a tractor trailer coming.
There's no tractor trailers on Highway 7. There's very little, Wally. Very little.
So it went from there's none to very little, which means there is some, and I've seen it.
Wow. You must be driving at weird times.
This show brought to you by Bet365, the proud presenting sponsor. Before we get into the show, gentlemen, I just want to read some comments from yesterday's show. I do think Wally is right. I agree with Wally. Graham 100% disagree. In the last one, Yorkie had too much salt in his breakfast today. So I just want to say I agree with all the comments. Keep them coming. Please like and subscribe to the show if you haven't already.
Sure, agree with what? Nobody agrees with you ever. You can't just put this is fake news. You can't just put a blanket statement out there, Wally, and have no substance behind it. Give me some salt behind that.
Karimbo 575. I do think Wally is right, saying that getting into the playoffs is already a success for this season, but people are not going to be satisfied if they lose in 4 in the first round. Justin Saunier 97-52. I agree with Wally. All the games that they have won while allowing a few goals, it's all about their defensive play and how he's not overly happy about it. So,
okay.
I'm just saying. I was just trying to keep it shorter. Anyway, so Graham, you're heading to the rink this morning? I catch you at the morning.
Going to the rink, yeah. Julian McKenzie got in late last night at midnight, so him and I are going to take an Uber over 10 o'clock, 10:05ish, and then make our way in. And then Josh Norris is speaking to us, and went out for dinner last night with Mendez and a couple of the Sen staffers from the comms department, and had a great dinner. And then they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go to the craft brewery right beside our hotel." I'm like, "Okay, I'm in. Let's do it." And we go in through the doors, and lo and behold, who do we find? Guess.
No.
I'm gonna need a minute. Okay, I'm gonna need a minute.
Why didn't you go?
Josh freaking Norris.
You could have went.
Yeah. He's like, "Where's Wally?" I don't have the heart to tell.
Wow. Why didn't Graham, did you drive by yourself on this trip? It was just you and your car by yourself?
Just me and my truck, yeah.
Like you had room for one?
Oh, I had room for many. I would have had to take the car seats out of the back seat, but I had room for more. Julian McKenzie's flight got delayed, and he was texting me at 1. I missed his text. I could have, should have. I feel bad because I probably should have been able to take him, but I just didn't get his text to like the Thousand Islands, and it was too far gone at that point.
Why didn't you go to the Buffalo game? What's your excuse?
I didn't plan it properly.
God, missed opportunity.
Graham didn't invite me.
You kept me company on the phone for like half an hour though. So a terrible stretch of the drive.
So what did you and Josh have to talk about today? Yesterday?
Well, I was, like he was talking to the whole group, right? Like he knows those guys from the organization so well, and like he saw me. He's like, "Hey, you made the trip. That's awesome." And I'm like, yeah, man, I came down to see you. He's like, oh, that's why I'm doing media availability tomorrow. I'm like, yep, that's me. I'm sorry, man. But no, he seemed to be doing really well. I think he's kind of grasped everything that's kind of happened to him. And he talked a little bit about that to us, what he was going through, the emotions of that day and everything else. But it seems like he's in a good spot mentally with this whole trade now. And he was positive, and he seemed to be in a good spot mentally. So.
Nice.
Buffalo on paper should be way better than they are. Like, if you look at that team on paper, fellas, they got some talent. They got some good defensemen. They've got a very talented group of forwards. It just doesn't make a lot of sense why they are where they're at right now as far as the standings. Like, if you look at them on paper compared to Columbus, compared to a lot of teams in the NHL, it's just it's a hot mess. But Josh is hurt again, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll
3
play.
games.
I don't know if he'll play, but they're going to see how he responded to treatment last week when they went on the road trip. He obviously didn't play, but I don't know if he has a chance to get into tonight's game, but I would doubt it. But
yeah. You're pretty quiet, Wally. Pretty quiet. What's going through your head right now?
So many emotions.
I'm just listening. Why can't I just sit and listen quietly? I was just curious to how his evening went. That was all.
He actually went out to dinner with the equipment staff, though. Like he said he met with the guys on the team, his teammates for about 10 minutes. They had a beer, and then he went out for dinner with the equipment staff. So that was his night, and then we bumped into him afterwards. So.
All right, well, we'll get into the Buffalo game as we get going here. The game with out one Josh Norris playing. I'm sure he's disappointed not to be playing. I don't think that he is, but I mean, we'll see how treatment goes, I guess, as you said. This show brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, more than 85 locations across the country through Charm and their sister brands. Proudly Canadian owned and operated since 1972. Get custom ring building delivered in less than 4 weeks with the Charm Masterpiece Program and unbeatable pricing policy. Check out a large selection of Canadian lab-grown diamonds, mine diamonds. Don't pay until 2026. Apply for the Charm Diamond Flexity card today. Get approved for no interest financing on your purchase in minutes. For more information, go to charmdiamondcenters.com. Chosen forever, Charm Diamond Centers.
Think you know hockey?
You want in on that.
Think you know hockey? Play Sobeys My NHL Picks weekly for the chance to win big prizes. The new slate of games opens up every Thursday from now until the end of the regular season. So download the Sobeys app, pick the winners of 5 NHL games and compete for your chance to win big prizes, such as the Sobeys grocery offers up to 150,000 scene points or the grand prize of a trip for 4 to this year's Stanley Cup Finals.
I'm 4 for 4. I need Ottawa to win tonight to go 5 for 5 for the week. So I'll be cheering for a Ottawa victory on simply based on that. Gentlemen, before we get into the show, also a reminder, today is clue number 4 for the Tim Stützle autographed jersey giveaway. We'll be giving away on Thursday. So listen into the show later as we will give out clue number 4. And then you email the show, cihsends@gmail.com on Wednesday after you have all the clues, despite all the people still emailing me to the show every day. It is on Wednesday after you have all the clues. So Tim Stützle signed jersey giveaway headed your way Thursday. You need all 5 clues. All right. Into the game we go, if you will. Which is the Dylan Cozens return game, the dad's trip. Cozens excited. He said he quickly had to get his dad to take some time off, rearrange his schedule, but he's on the trip as well. This, I'd like to know how much money's on the board for Dylan Cozens in this one.
Oh, wow. It's a great question.
Yeah.
Former first-round draft pick, massive trade, big
5
game.
years.
If Ottawa wins this game tonight, they're going to be like, I'll say this, it'll be a very comfortable position to put themselves in as far as getting some distance. This is one of those games because they've got a game in hand on Columbus and they got a couple games in hand on the Rangers, but this is a massive game. Dads are there, man. How do you put a number on this? Oh,
so here's what I think is the rule of thumb. It is possibly $1,000 per season played.
Yeah, is that what the guys are going with now?
That's a loose rule.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's going to be a big number, and they'll be. It's so funny when you get into that because I think I told this story before, Graham. There's guys that scour the game notes before games. They're looking for any little hint of some kind of connection to you in that city. It's like, hey, your sister went to college at Buffalo State. You got to have money on the board. It's like where people will go to the PR guy or whoever does the tickets and say, all right, who's got tickets tonight? And they'll find out who's got tickets, who's going to be at the game to try and find any way to get that fine pot built up. But yeah, that makes sense, Wally. But that's going to be an emotional game for him too. Emotional game.
What's the best money on the board story from your playing time with the Senators?
The best is the cheapest guy ever, Denny VL, Sean McEachran. I love this story. I've told it a couple times already. Denny was a notorious cheapskate, and the guys used to grind him all the time. So one time we were playing one of Denny's ex teams. I forget what it was, and McEachran got there early, and instead of putting a dollar sign up on the board, he put Denny's name up, and he taped beside Denny's number 4 little mini hotel shampoo bottles and 4 mini hotel soaps. that was Denny's wager because they said he'd always steal the hotel shampoos and soaps. So, oh my god, that was funny. McEachran was good, but as far as money goes, it was different. Guys weren't making the kind of money they are now. Like a lot different. So if a guy back then threw $1,000 up, that was big. Like usually guys would throw 500 was a normal, couple hundred, but 1,000 would be a big statement back then. So
yeah, 500 is still the norm now.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because guys will do it multiple times throughout the season.
Yes,
especially you get a guy like poor David Perron, all the teams he's been on. Every time you play, okay, here we go again, and then okay, we're playing in Montreal because I'm French. I got to put money up there too.
Take my money.
Oh yeah, the guys will just grind, and then there's guys that'll hide too. Guys won't come in the dressing room while this, because there's a certain. It's kind of like what we do. There's a chit chat period that goes on in the dressing room when guys are chit chatting about who's putting money on the board. But some of the guys with the long pockets and the thrifty guys will hide during dressing room chit chat time because they know they'll be pressured to put money on the board. So they'll be mysteriously stretching somewhere, taping their stick, and like, where's so and so? He played here. Get him in the dressing room. Wally, you'd be one of those guys. Where's Wallace? Get him to put some money on the board.
My alligator arms. I can't get to the wall.
Cheap bastard.
Can't find my wallet. All right. So, but yeah, I don't know who. Like, I don't know if Gilbert would have to put some money up or not. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Linus Ullmark, former Sabre.
100%.
Anyway, we'll see.
Gilbert's up for sure, Wally. It's his first game back as well. The guys will be grinding him too.
Yeah, but I know, but he's not playing.
But the smart thing is you got if you know that you got to put money up on the board, you got to get ahead of it. So you got to sneak in before, if you're Gilbert, and just throw like $100 up there and put your name in there, and then don't be seen for the rest of the day, and you can get away with it.
All right. So anyway, how do we expect Dylan Cozens to play before we move on? Yeah, he's been exceptional in his time here. He's got 7 points in 8 games. His point per game is, I think, more than it's went from 0.51 to 0.81, if I'm not mistaken, something to that effect. He's been very, very good, been very physical. Has he been everything we expected, or has Dylan Cozens been a little bit more than you guys expected, Yorkie?
I would say he's exactly what I expected from him. I just had a feeling that this guy was going to come in and be super jacked to play here. He was going to be put into a situation to have success, and he's taken advantage of that. The kid's from Whitehorse, goddammit. Like, he jacked to come into a market that cares about hockey. The building's full. He's responded. I would say this for sure. Am I surprised he had 17 hits in his first 2 games? Yes. Like, that's a pretty big statement. But you know, I didn't realize how big he was too. Like, he's 6'3". Like, that to me, when he came and I saw him in the lineup, like, he's lanky,
Yeah.
But that kind of size has been really nice to add to this group down the middle. So he's exactly what I expected, except probably a little more physical than I expected.
Yeah, I agree with Yorkie. I think like he's been everything that was described of him heading in, he's fulfilled. And I think like the bonus for me is that his play, his ability to carry the puck from point A to point B, is helped that second line immeasurably. And I think like for him to rejuvenate Drake Batherson's season after Drake was going through such a lull, it's just immeasurable. Like the contributions that he's provided to that line and to get Drake going, it's just paramount. If this team's going to have success moving forward down the stretch and into the postseason, like you need that line clicking, and he's just brought different dynamics. It's no slight to Josh Norris, who I think is a good player, but like just a better fit for what this group needs at this time.
You know what, Wally? Do you know what to Graham's point? I'll just kind of go off that a little bit. Cozens plays on the inside. And what I mean by that, like he carries the puck, as Graham says, through the neutral zone extremely well, and they were missing that. But they're also missing a big body that plays inside the dots. And you watch how some of the goals he gets or some of the points. It's from being inside. Like so many teams and so many. I'll give you a DeBrincat, for example. Great player, great skill, but all his work is done on outside. Like it's called a perimeter player. Cozens plays inside, and if you want to win it this time of year, you need guys that play inside the dots. And that's been contagious. Look how physical Batherson's played, Graham, since Cozens came in. Hit totals up. Like Batherson is playing like a man possessed, the way he hounds pucks, the way he back checks. And that line has a really nice identity now. Same with David Perron. Like the way he's playing, like those three guys have become really, really difficult guys to play against. Cozens, his style is contagious, and it's rubbing off on everybody.
The interesting thing of that is we haven't mentioned it, is I think the motivation is a huge factor for Dylan Cozens, right? Like he comes in jacked to go from you were about to have a really early spring to you have a chance now to be in a playoff spot that you had no sniff at a week ago or 2 weeks, whatever, right? I think that's a huge part for him. He just seems, and it happens to every player, he just seems alive. Oh, by the way, Yorkie, just before we move forward, people were now like you to do what I have done in the past and end the show by jumping in the pool. In fact, there's a poll in the there's now a poll in the chat. It's either yes or hell yes to whether or not you should jump in the pool. And so far, it's 100% yes, basically.
100% yes. All right. Well, we can't disappoint our good viewers that have been such good people.
So we'll have. Rock says 100% Yorkie, no chance you can escape this one. Wally did it. Now York Chop's got to show he's a man of his word.
Wally was hammered when he did. He was high on G&Ts.
Maybe.
That was what were we called you again back then? What was your nickname? Zen
Ty Wally.
Ty Wally. That was Ty Wally. He was just all relaxed. Just like, what's going on?
Did
Where'd
get
that guy go? Where'd he go?
Got a nuisance call from the front desk. All right. As we get forward here, we got to now get into the Sens lineup about Brady, Tkachuk, and whatnot. So the official pizza of the Ottawa Senators is Gabriel Pizza. Of course, that's also the official pizza of Coming In Hot. Download the Gabriel Pizza app. Earn points with every purchase on the app and get exclusive deals with Gabriel Pizza perks. Order on the app, or you still can order online at GabrielPizza.com. But if the Sens score 4 tonight, you tomorrow will get 40% off any 9-inch pizza the day after the Sens score 4 in a game. And you can order only on the Gabriel Pizza app. GabrielPizza.com.
This show is also presented by Club EG. Time to start dusting off the clubs and getting ready to tee it up. Club EG is your best bet for an amazing golf season in and around Ottawa. One membership with Club EG gets you access to 60 amazing golf courses at member-only rates. Check out the courses online. We're giving away foursomes to some great courses like the Marshes, Equinel, La Source, Mountain Creek. Go to clubeg.golf. Plenty of different packages to suit you. Right now, we still have the February. I still have these old packages.
There's no February deals. I meant to take that out.
You missed them. But these guys also run awesome events like the Ottawa Sun Scramble, the Ottawa Citizen Golf Championship, the Commissioner's Ottawa Open, APGA Tour, America's event at Eagle Creek. Tons of golf leagues, lots of great golf trips and more. They literally cater to every type of golfer. ClubEG.com.
Yes, you can check them out. They still have an Easter early bird special right now, Bob, before April 21st. 21st. $599 and get you one bonus round of credits. They also have a 15 gamer. They have multiple packages. So go check them out. clubeg.golf. Yorkie, the poll right now is yes at 51%, hell yes at 49% for the pool jump. So
what's the third?
There is no other option.
There's only two.
This might be a slanted poll. Brady Tkachuk did not skate yesterday. Artem Zub did not skate yesterday. They will both expected to be in the lineup. I know Stephen Halliday was recalled yesterday. He was a filler in practice. He took Brady's spot. And this first sign that we thought that perhaps Stephen Halliday would not be in the lineup is he was on the first power play unit in Brady's spot. And if he was about to play, I don't believe he would be taking that spot. So that was the first indication. He has now since been sent back down to Belleville. This morning they made the announcement. So Brady's in, Artem Zub is in, and it looks like Nick Jensen is going to return for the first time in 4 games. He seemed awfully positive yesterday. So that's the plan. We'll try the treatment in the morning and make sure it's all going well. But we should see Nick Jensen return. If he does, Travis Hamonic skated an Artem Zub spot yesterday with Jake Sanderson. It leads me to believe that Nick Matten-Palo will be the third right side D in this lineup tonight.
You think so, right? This is need some Inspector Wallace here. You think that's the play?
Well, I know you're thinking that they're going to move Travis Hamonic down, and they still could. There's no question. He was in Zub's spot. He could have moved Matten-Palo in that spot. Anyway, whatever it means. I don't know. If Travis Hamonic is in the lineup, I'm not shocked.
Let me ask you this: when they started the line rushes or the drills, which D pairing went first?
Sanderson Hamonic.
Yeah, Hamonic's playing. I would think that Matten-Palo is going to be the odd man out. Look at the ice time from last game that they won. I think Matten-Palo was around 10. He was down around 10 minutes in that game.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if Hamonic's out. The way it's gone, the way they've been doing the D.
I know, but maybe, just maybe.
I'd say there's a 10% chance.
I don't know if Linus Ullmark is in the lineup, as they don't. Travis doesn't announce his starting goaltender until the day of, but I suspect it'll still be Linus Ullmark.
He's playing. He was good last game. I thought he was really good last game. He made some massive saves in that third period when Jersey made that massive push, and that's why you brought him in. This is why he's here. Help you get to the playoffs. He's had some rest, ready to go.
I have I thought it was interesting, and maybe I'm just wrong. Travis Green said yesterday in his press conference, because he was asked about defensively the New Jersey game, if he thought they played well enough, whatever. And overall, he said, I thought our New Jersey game was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to ask both of you your thoughts on that. They were outshot. Look, they had a 3-goal second period. They hung on at the end. So it's funny, you can have two people watch the same game and think completely different. So Yorkie, how did you assess that game in New Jersey? Would you have called it excellent?
I thought the first 2 periods were. I said that the other day. I didn't think they gave Jersey a lot in those first 2 periods. The only thing I didn't find excellent was the penalty kill. I thought the penalty kill was far from excellent. I know he talked about, I listened to his press conference, he talked about they've got some new guys, they're getting used to their system and how to do it, and I get that, I understand that. But yeah, I thought the first 2 periods, wouldn't say we're really good. Like, you're on the road, and like I said yesterday, you're playing in a high-pressure situation, 2 desperate hockey teams where you got to have a win. People have to understand, you can't, it's nearly impossible to play a perfect game in the NHL. The other team's trying to win just as bad as you are. And I thought for the most part, Ottawa was really good in those first 2 periods, sat back a little too much in the third. But I will say this, most of the opportunities, with the exception of that hairy scramble at the end where Zub saved the goal and a couple other times, they kept most of the things to the outside. They stacked the front of the net pretty good. They bent, but they didn't break. So as far as passing the test on a high-pressure game we needed to win, yeah, great. You get an A for that. Was it perfect game? No. First 2 periods for me, yeah, I'll say they were excellent. Third period, I'll give it a B-.
Yeah, I'm the same. I thought Ottawa did a nice job limiting the chances to the outside for the first 2 periods. Third period just fell apart a little bit, a little too loosey-goosey. But yeah, like to Yorkie's point, like I think they did a nice job stacking the box, just limiting those inside chances. And then obviously it just opened up a little bit too much towards the end of the third period, and New Jersey made a game of it. But I don't have any issues with Travis Green saying what he did. Like, would it be? It's not on my like Mount Rushmore of top 5 defensive games that this team's played all year. But, like, it was fine. Like considering like the past number of games, like that's probably a better effort that's trending in the right direction for where you want these. Yeah. You want this to go.
Yeah. What is Mount Rushmore? I think the number one defensive. Probably that period they had in Boston when they didn't allow a shot on goal in that third period. That's got to be the.
I think there was like, was there a Dallas game? There was like a Dallas game where their neutral zone play was just unbelievable. Over that Dallas game, and it's just like that's probably some of the best hockey I've seen play this year. But
yeah,
I don't know. I have to think about it in terms of like which games I thought they stood out.
It is difficult when you bring Cozens in, and you really have no practice time, so he's learning this new system that he's playing with Ottawa on the fly. You bring Zetterlund in. You're trying to find a fit for him in the lineup and make sure he's playing the right way that you want. You have Heimar in there. You've now got Adam Gaudette playing center, who hasn't played center all year. So you're trying to put him in a situation to succeed. So there's a lot of different moving parts. So, and that's, hey, listen, every team's like that. But I think they've done a nice job when you think of all the moving parts that are going on with this team right now. So yeah, it's like I said, it's and this game tonight, this ain't going to be no layup. Like Buffalo is going to come out in Ottawa, Wally. You know how they played them this year. This can be a tough game.
Gaudette has played center, Yorkie. I mean, he started the full year almost.
No, for the success he's had this year, the success he's had scoring goals, playing well, has primarily been on the wing when he's played well.
Fair enough.
And he's not, like, let's be honest, he's not a great down low player, but I think he's playing way above his pay grade. He's battling. He's doing everything he can. Like, you can't fault this kid. He's not a kid anymore, but I think he's playing well. But he's spotted at center a few times this year, but for the most part, he's had his success as a winner.
I want to get back to Nick Jensen, as I forgot to move. Defensively, how much does he change the look of this team? And are we overstating it drastically?
No, because the alternative is Travis Hamonic, who's statistically one of the worst defensemen in the NHL. So it's like
who's salty now?
No, it's like it's an easy answer. Like, you can't when this guy's out of the lineup, it's like a stark change. Like, I was trying to look at the numbers earlier this morning. You sent me the text saying, "Hey, this is what we want to talk about." And I was just looking at like Thomas Chabot's numbers. It's like it's night and day between him and Hamonic. It's like I don't know how else to put it, Wally. But yeah, like, they're positive. Like, all the shot and goal metrics are positive. And then when he's Chabot's paired with Hamonic, they drop by like almost 10%. So it's significant. You can't understate the importance of having him in. And I wish in the offseason that they could have addressed the right side depth a little bit more. But I mean, they were limited because of the no movement clause. So like Travis Hamonic's no movement clause, it took away a lot of flexibility for this team to do some work.
Yeah. If you watch Jensen play, he very, very rarely rims the puck. Like, he usually makes some kind of outlet pass. The worst thing you can do, like when teams forecheck, so when they forecheck you, Wally, what they're trying to make you do, they're trying to make you rim it, because the strong side D is going to pinch and they're going to keep the puck in. And that's when Hamonic gets into trouble. He rims pucks, and it's easy to read when you rim pucks. That's why you see so many smart defensemen now. They'll just do the high flipper. Do the high flipper at the center ice, which has become a pretty good tactic, because you're putting a bouncing puck. It's almost like in soccer when you kick the ball up and then you make the other defender after. It's a tough play for the defenseman, and that's a way better play than rimming it. Because rimming it, you put your forward in under duress, the other team pinches on you. I just find the old hammer time, when he gets into trouble, when he rims it. And Jensen's skating ability just allows him so many other options on the ice. He can do turnbacks. Him and Shabbat will do those nice reverses. It's just, he's a top 4 defenseman, and he's like around the league. I saw a couple polls lately. People say like, who are some of the most underrated guys in the league? Jensen's name comes up regularly. So it's not just us in Ottawa that's singing Jensen's praises. Like he's a pretty good under radar guy around the league that everybody's talking about now.
I only asked the question. I knew the answer, but I don't know that if we give enough love to the way Nick Jensen has played. I just, I'm trying to think of where he might rank among defense. I feel like defensive defensemen for Ottawa.
I think he's the best
in the last 15 years. Like,
I'd say
Meth would be there for sure.
Sanderson.
Oops, up there.
But I just think he's just a steady. Yeah, he still has that Chris Phillips to me in him. Just gets the job done.
Jensen, Chris Phillips.
Different, yeah.
I'd
say he's like a better Dylan DeMello, if that makes sense.
Wait, what's your problem with between? Hang on.
They've never seen too many opposite. Philly was the reason why Jensen is considered a very good defensive defenseman because he doesn't play in his own zone a lot. Like Jensen's biggest strength is moving the puck and going back and making a smart decision on the breakout. I would say he's more similar to Wade Redden than Chris Phillips, if you wanted to be, in my opinion, because what Wade's biggest strength was a first pass. You know who he kind of reminds me of? And he had a couple years when he was pretty good, but it didn't last very long, was Brian Pothier. He was actually pretty good for really small sample size, and I was watching. I'm like, this kid's gonna have a really good career, Pothier, and then it kind of fizzled out for him. But he reminds me a lot like that when Pothier was at his absolute best, which wasn't all the time. Yeah, whatever. I butcher his name.
Yeah, it's Pothier. That's I spoke to him recently about coming on the show.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna have an unbelievable career, Wally. Another guy too that was pretty good when he was with the Sens for a while I'm going old school right now, was Carl Rakunik. Another right shot D-man. Had a couple really, really good seasons. Because to me, like if you want to be a really good defensive defenseman, don't play in your own zone. That's a good way to not be a liability. That's what Jensen does. He makes so many smart decisions with the puck and escapes trouble by not having to rim it. I'll give you an example. So one of the best defense coaches, I think, in the history of the NHL is Dave Lewis. You guys remember Dave Lewis?
Yeah.
So Dave Lewis was a defense coach with the Detroit Red Wings when I was there. He was there when Nicholas Lidstrom came into the NHL. Dave Lewis, I think one of the smartest guys there is. He worked hand in hand with Lidstrom coming into the league. Pretty safe to say you could make an argument that Nicholas Lidstrom is one of the best defensemen of all time. Dave Lewis was the guy helping assimilate him to playing in North America. One of the best things Louis ever told me when I was in Boston, head coach there for a year, used to come down and when you do a defense forward split, Louis would come down and the first thing he would say to us, why the hell do you guys want to rim the puck? He goes, you rim it, you're just giving it to the other team. He goes, keep it. We work so hard to get to the puck. The last thing you want to do is rim it. And I never forgot it because it's so true. But it's easier said than done because once you're under pressure, the easiest thing to do is rim the puck. But it just sticks with me to this day. Dave Lewis, do not rim the puck unless it's absolutely your last resort.
Didn't they say that was like a similar story for like Chara when he first arrived in Ottawa? Like just stop playing that like stereotypical arch defensive defenseman role and like start moving the puck. Yeah. The Big Z improved so much when he came to Ottawa. It was unbelievable. His early days in New York when he played there, like guys used to laugh at him and say, "Put it in Chara's corner. Can't play." And then the work he put into his game and what he evolved into, it's an amazing story.
Well, we all know the story. There's nobody worked harder than this guy, but yeah, he turned into a pretty good. Well, obviously not. Like his skill set for a big guy was pretty damn good.
He was a throw-in for the most part.
Yeah, that's right.
Like they're like, I don't know what we're gonna do here. Take Chara because we don't know what we can do with him. Him and Bill
we don't know
McCall.
what he is. We don't know what he is.
Yeah.
Poor
Even when he got to Ottawa, people were like, oh, they brought in this guy, but no one was really like, oh my God, it's Zdeno Chara.
And he just turned into the Z monster, just this unstoppable force. Just like it's some of his stories, like the McCabe play is legendary. The McCabe go round.
Yeah,
I saw Brian. I saw Brian McCabe get interviewed about that too, about how scary that was. He was rehashing the story of, God, I got in there, and I'm like, all of a sudden, he's like, I'm 225, and this guy's picking me off the ice. Like it's pretty crazy when you think about it. How strong he was.
Even Mike Rupp, who was a fairly large human, was like, I probably shouldn't be in this. He goes, I think he let up on me. I'm like, yeah, like that. Like,
Graham, did you? Anybody that's watching the data hasn't watched our Mike Rupp show? Some of the best stories we've had. Wally on the pod so far. Rupper's stories, his Chara story. His Chara story is one of the best I've heard. About how polite the Big Z was when he was like, "Excuse me, Mr. Rupp, would you mind fighting me?"
It's very polite, yeah.
And after they finally fought, Z goes to Rupp. He goes, "Thank you very much. I enjoyed that." Rupp's like, "Oh, okay, you're welcome."
Let's.
Oh man,
it's very all right. Quickly, this show brought to you by BEI, Bonisher Excavating Inc. Heavy equipment civil general contractor in the Ottawa Valley. Equipment rentals, aggregate, topsoil sales. Start planning on sprucing up your front lawn if you want. Custom crushing and screening, hot mix paving if you're looking to have your laneway or driveway done, depending on how you call it. Give them a call, 613-432-1120. They're also hiring if you're looking for summer employment. BonisherExcavating.com, helping to shape the Ottawa Valley. And of course, by our presenting show sponsor, Bet365. Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Download the Bet365 app today and use code NATION, all uppercase letters, to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. Tim Stützle cost me the parlay last game. I had it. I just needed him to score a goal.
He hasn't been shooting much, though.
No, I know. I just needed one. I was hoping for the empty netter at the anyway. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
You asked him that too, Graham. You said, Timmy, why don't you shoot more? He's
got a shot.
I know he does.
But
yeah,
I'm going to get a.
It's even Drake, right? Like Drake had that goal the other night against Montreal. Like same thing. It's just like the C's split and he still wanted to pass it, Wally. Like you were talking to him. And it's just like some of these guys are just like they're too selfless. Like just play selfish. Yeah. Play selfish. Situationally be selfish. And I don't know.
All right. So tonight, Sens in Buffalo facing the worst team in the Eastern Conference. This might not come as a shock, but the Ottawa Senators are the favorites. The only issue is, guys, Ottawa has lost 2 straight to Buffalo, both games this year. Buffalo returns home after a 4-game road trip. They are overall, I think, 3-4 in their last 7. It's not like they've been winless in 7 straight. So they have been okay. Ottawa has scored 1 goal in the 2 games. They lost 5-1 at Buffalo on November the 5th and 4-0 in Ottawa on January the 9th. So, Yorkie, because you didn't plan ahead, we have no Charlie's choice in this one, but Gertie was good enough to provide today's animal pick.
Animal pick?
Time to make your pick. You know Ottawa needs this more than Buffalo. Is it the successful Dylan Cozens return?
Yum, yum.
It is. It's an Ottawa choice. Good job, Gertie.
She's on an Ottawa heater right now, isn't she?
But she did pick Colorado, so she has been. I think she's 4 straight. So, Yorkie, what say you?
Yeah, I think the Dylan Cozens vibe is going to help Ottawa tonight. I think he's going to be extremely motivated to play this game. I'm a little nervous because Buffalo's record at home isn't terrible. I think they're maybe 4 games above 500, give or take, at home. So Buffalo is a train wreck on the road, but they're not terrible at home. But Ottawa's they just have to stick to that recipe for success of not turning the puck over, putting the puck in good positions on the ice, and letting Buffalo beat themselves, because they're going to have guys that are going to want the cookies and get their stats up. So I'm going to take Ottawa. I think Brady's going to be playing. Jensen's back. All hands on deck. Get some space. These guys know, they need some more breathing room here. It's a big game, so I like Ottawa to play the right way and secure 2 points tonight.
I'm going to take Ottawa too. I think 3-2 Ottawa. I think the dad's trip adds adds an element to it as well. They want to show up and play well for their parents. So I'm taking Ottawa 3-2.
So you're right. Buffalo plays well at home. Ottawa's not great on the road. I know. They're a 500 hockey team on the road, and they've struggled all year just to get to 500. It feels like
they've had some bad road trips, though, right? Like super lengthy road trips, and it's the guys from the Senators were talking last. How many instances where it's been like a 1 or 2 or 3 game road trip? It's very few. It's always been prolonged stretches, right?
Yeah.
So
if they play like they did, if they play like they did against New Jersey, they'll be fine. It's just go play high percentage hockey. And I thought for the most part they did against New Jersey. The dads will help Wally too.
I don't like Buffalo doesn't care. I shouldn't say they don't care anymore. They're playing free.
They care. Yeah.
And so that makes them a tough out. But I will say they're returning after a 4-game road trip. And so there's always that potential
trap game.
To be the trap game.
And they were dressing 11-7 the other night, right? So it's if they're a little bit thinner up front, if Norris doesn't play, then I don't know. They're missing some depth up front.
So I will take the sorry, stop. I'll change. I will take the Ottawa Senators in this one. I'm hoping an empty netter. I'm thinking like a 4-2 empty net game.
So here's a question for you guys. We haven't talked about it whatsoever. I'm assuming Jacob Bernard-Docker will get in tonight.
Oh yeah.
What do you expect? What do you expect to see from him tonight? Because we haven't seen him play a game in absolutely. I feel like it's been 2-3 months at least. Yeah,
the forgotten man in the trade. Yeah, I even forgot he was in the trade. How many? Well, no, it's just because you're so uber focused on Cozens, Josh Norris, even Gilbert. We don't talk a lot about Gilbert. He played the 1 or 2 games, but what am I expecting from Jacob Bernard-Docker? Just to go out and not be noticed, because that's when he plays his best. Just go out and do his thing, and I don't know. I don't know if he's an NHL player right now. I really don't. It's because if you want to play in the NHL, you have to establish what you are as a player. So I don't really know what he is yet, and it's a lot to do with circumstances in Ottawa. It just wasn't a good fit. So I think, again, that remains to be seen. So for him, I don't know. I don't know what he is right now. He's a guy that's got to forge his path in the NHL, and if he's going to play, it's going to be a defensive defenseman that blocks shots. He's good at that, and probably is a third pairing guy. So.
He's played 2 games after being a healthy scratch for 6. He lay 11-29 in his first game and 12-49 in his second game with 2 assists in the last game, 1 shot on goal.
The good thing he had 2 assists. Oh, the good thing for Docker is, as long as the general manager doesn't get fired there, he's in a great position. If the GM ever gets fired there, he's screwed.
Isn't there a lot every player is?
Well, as long as the guy that traded for you remains, he will fight for you till his death, because they gave away Cozens in the trade. Right. So general managers want to prove they were right, and he'll be good. So unless they change general managers, and then all bets are off.
Quickly, Tim Stützle, question, clue number 4. is who were Tim's roommates when he first lived in Ottawa? Tim Stützle, question number 4. Who were Tim's roommates when he lived in Ottawa? So, reminder, don't email me today. Email cihsends@gmail.com on after Wednesday's show. We'll announce the winner Thursday. By the way, you talked about the dad strip. The bunch of them were at the rink yesterday, all watching practice before they got on the bird to fly to Buffalo. So I'm sitting there, and I don't recall who it is right away, but someone's walking. One of the dads is walking towards me. I'm like, oh, what has Yorkie said? And he goes, hi, Brent. Mark Gregg. Just want to say, Ridley's dad. I just want to say, enjoy listening to the show. You know, as a scout, we travel a lot and always put you guys on in the car. To which I said, I'm sorry you listen. And he quite enjoyed the show. So if you're listening, you won't be listening today, but for Mark Gregg, hi.
So I asked Josh last night at the bar. I asked him, so he's still watching Coming in Hot? He's like, I caught the highlights. He's like, every time I get the highlights, every time the highlights auto-populate, like he's like, did Timmy actually drive 300 on the Autobahn? I'm like, that's what he said. What he said. So he's still catching it.
The best highlight from the Timmy show was the quick hitter of Wally with the bald head, Timmy shaving the head there. Then you see Wally flash. You actually look pretty good bald. I think you could do it.
Thanks.
Like,
I did shave my head for Chio during COVID.
I remember that.
Nice.
But some guys can't pull off the bald look. You have to have a particular head shape to do it. Wally, I think you're not bad bald.
I think that might be the nicest thing you've said to me in the 365 episodes, whatever that we've done together.
You'd be a good bald guy. That's a good compliment.
Okay.
Maybe you could be part of that club. That could be your club, the Bald Guys Club. You could start that.
But it's the problem when it grows out. Because you're stuck in like no man's land.
Yes.
And then it just the loud collector says never ever shave your head again. Regards, the bald guy.
I had my head shaved 3 times for hockey. This was back when hazing was a thing. CCHL, Smith Falls Bears, shaved. Major, junior, back-to-back head shavings too, because I went right from the CCHL right to the OHL, shaved again. And then I'm like, okay, finally done with this stupid head shaving business. Go to the minors. Guess what? You get your head shaved again. The boys in the minors were good though, because they said, you go to the barber and get it done yourself, and it's got to be a 1/4 inch. And they actually took a ruler when you got to the rink and they measured your hair to see if it was the 1/4 inch or whatever. And some guys got sent back to the barbers. Or the guys just said, I'll do it, and they grabbed the razor and just did it right in the room. So
listen, if I raise money for charity, possibly, but I can't let down the people. Sunburst Strat, who says Wally's hair's on point though. So I don't know, Yorkie. Yorkie, are you jumping in the pool? Just keep it in mind. Give it some thought. We do have the dad strip, as we've talked about. Did you get to do any or many, Yorkie?
Yeah, I was on the team that started doing it. The guy that I believe the Nashville Predators were the first team that started doing the dad's trips. It was a David Poyle, Barry Trotz idea. And yes, I brought my dad to the Nashville Predators dad's trip, and it was awesome. It was awesome. And this is why Barry Trotz is one of the greatest guys in the game. Barry so we had the dinner the night before the game, and you go with your dad and you have dinner there and everybody's there. And Barry's the first guy to get up and talk, and you have to say a story about your dad. So Barry gets up, and it's a pretty emotional speech by Barry. And Barry he breaks down. It was very emotional. And so the next guy, then every player had to get up and say a memory they remember about their dad growing up. And the whole room shared, and it was awesome because your dads are there and they do it. So it was pretty good. So I did that with my dad. And then my dad passed away when I did my Boston trip. So I brought my brother on that trip, which was awesome too. But yeah, no, they're good. The players will have some extra jam going today, I'm telling you, with the dads, because they probably did something special. And I'm sure most coaches do something to get the dads involved some way, because it's there's nothing like playing when your family's in attendance, especially your dad. So it'll be this will be. I have a hard time imagining the guys not being ready with their dads in the stands tonight.
Will the dads participate like the moms did last year? Is there any chance we can see? Jake, do we have the video?
Oh boy.
Will we see the dads doing a dance? This would be great. Of course, it would have to be after the bar.
Yeah, I don't know about the dancing dads. Might be
the moms killed it last year.
I know, but the moms are great. No, I could see maybe something more involving a few beers with the dads, maybe up in the box doing something. The dads too. Most dads want to watch the game. Not that the moms don't, but the dads get into the game, and you can't really talk to a dad when he's watching the game because he's so focused.
Yes.
So it's like the moms, for the most part, the mom kind of enjoys the game. Dads really don't enjoy watching their son play. It's kind of like a love.
It's true.
They don't. And any hockey dad knows what I'm talking about, because dads will pick apart their son's game and find whatever happened, the minuscule thing on there, and then just uber focus on that. Damn it. I remember sitting with Drake Batherson's dad was at a game. What a great guy Drake's dad is. I just happened to run into him at the game, and he's watching Drake, and Drake had passed off a few times. Great plays. He's like, you gotta be more selfish, you gotta shoot more. And it's just, that's what every dad's like. They just want their kid to do so well, and they want everything to work out. And it's I just find the dads get stressed when they watch when their boys play, and it doesn't go away. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you probably, that's why your hair's like that.
No idea.
You're watching your kid.
I'm like, why wouldn't you be in that? Like, so you're watching it, and he's like 6 inches off. You're like, why aren't you just over? Why isn't your stick in the lane? And you're like, I'm not on the ice.
I know. And the worst thing you can do is right after the game, where you're waiting for your kid, and you try telling him what he did wrong. Like, man, just tell your kid he had a great game, and maybe slide something in later the next morning. But the last thing they want to hear is what they did wrong.
I sent a 4-point PowerPoint presentation. No, I would just always ask him after the game, how'd you feel you played? And then he would give usually an honest assessment, like, all right, on to the next one.
My mom was this is
why he's running beside the car at the same time, because I didn't like his
but you know what? My mom was so, what's the word? She'd actually lie to me. Even I knew I played shitty, and you played great. And you played awesome. Mom, I know I gave the puck away, and they said, no, that was the other guy's fault. Like, my mom would see no wrong. It was like, you always played great. So if I was feeling bad about myself or needed a boost, I'd just call my mom, and it would be like rose-petaled glasses. So,
Anyway, well, it's
hey, Graham, you agree? Like, dads are just, it's stressful.
Oh, yeah.
And Graham's just getting into it now.
Oh.
Kids are 3 and 5. Just having the skatings there Saturday mornings in Carp. That just ended, but they'll probably another couple years before I put them in hockey. But yeah, you can see it. Yeah, I hear the stories from the guys at work all the time. It's like they're traveling every other weekend for the kids' hockey tournament and stuff. And you hear the stories about how seriously some parents take it. And yeah.
Well, it's people turn into different people when they go into the rink. Like, the rink just will take a perfectly normal person, and once he gets in there and starts watching, we'll turn him into a raging lunatic.
Yeah.
The rink has like mystical evil powers that does these things to normal good people. It gets great. Well, it's crazy.
Agreed.
There's like one guy.
We had a parent. We had a dad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ryan would have been 10, 11. No, he's probably 12. The dad couldn't watch because he would be too wound up and would yell too many things. So he couldn't go to games. I mean,
one of the best things, and I'll leave the names out of this. In minor hockey, I remember this. The kids were playing Pee Wee, and there's a kid. I love this kid from the other team. Great kid. His dad was was yelling. The dad was a great guy too, great guy, and he's yelling at the kid, and the kid sees him, and all of a sudden the kid just yells, looks back, and just gives him the finger right on the head. It skates off. Everyone's laughing.
And I used to think if it was the higher the level, the more intense it is. But it's every level. It's every age, every level.
It's every.
There's a guy on our job who played pro, and he's going through the parenting thing right now with his kids in minor hockey and stuff, and he gets so wound up watching other parents just like overanalyze, overreact to everything. And like the thing that he says that resonates a lot with me is like, I don't know where he found the stat, but he's like, statistically, there's a greater chance of your kid becoming a brain surgeon than there is of him going to the National Hockey League. Like that's just like that's the reality of it. And the question that you have to ask yourself is like, is your kid going to be a brain surgeon? And you're just like, probably not. So just.
But he's going to the show.
But he's going to the show. Yeah. So.
I do think though you should. I do disagree with people that will say, "Wow, you're never going to make it." Like I still believe you have to let people dream, and
absolutely
let you dream. And if you want to believe it, believe it. But yeah, no, it's all I can say is I'm not disappointed, and I'm not going into the minor hockey rinks all the time now. to put it nicely.
No, my kid would at school, which they had just the U15 playoffs for local minor hockey. He goes, at the end, the ref had to come off the ice and separate the parents. They gotten into a fight.
Yeah.
Like, they don't need
it. And you know what? And you know, we're talking about all the bad. It is unfortunate because the game teaches you so many good things about working hard and teamwork and friendships and opportunities, and working hard for opportunities, and just the hard work and learning how to commitment and all those things are such good life skills to learn. And people forget about that, but that's what my dad used to always say. He'd say, "You're not playing hockey to make it to NHL." He goes, "I want you playing it because you're learning all these good life skills about hard work and all that stuff." And I remember he never used to talk about it. Just play for those reasons.
Are you jumping in the pool?
With the show done?
Well, I'm going to end it on a high if you're doing it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to scare everybody here, Wally. That's
Jake, just go out to full screen Yorkie.
Kick that chair over too. Kick that chair over.
Oh, I got to take off my nice Royal Ottawa shirt.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.